All right, listen up. Shooters, check your inventory. Make sure you have the following items. You have 3 magazines, an RCO TA-31 optic, and a weapon of your choice. You can either have the M4 or the M27. I don't care which one you shoot. If you don't have these items, come up to this little box pile next to me, scroll wheel, and choose your loadout. Shooters, this range runs a script in which each magazine holds 5 rounds. Every time you fire all 5 rounds, you will reload. Reloading is unlimited. Do not worry that you only have 3 magazines in your inventory, as they will automatically restock. Be alert. Ensure you fire all 5 rounds. If you fire a partial magazine of less than 5 rounds and reload, your 5 round reload script will fail because of this. For an example, if you fire 3 rounds, reload your weapon, you will end up with an unlimited quantity of 2 round magazines instead of 5 round magazines. This will make your range day an uncomfortable experience. To avoid this, count your rounds or keep shooting until you hear that little click, click, click. It means you're out of bullets. And go ahead and reload. If you fail, if you screw up your script, let me know. I will just send you back here to get a new loadout and we'll continue firing. Wait till the end of the course of fire to say anything. Shooters, each member may only attempt qualification once per day. Any rounds fired after the initial attempt do not count. You may only attempt the range 3 times in any qualification month. The highest qualification score will be used. To qualify on this range, you must shoot a 39 or above. 39 or above qualifies you as a marksman. 49 above qualifies you as a sharpshooter. And a score of 57 or above qualifies you as expert. For those aiming to be designated marksman, you must shoot a 63 or higher. And if you want to keep your DMR qualification, you also must shoot a 63 or higher. Shooters, these are the range rules. You can follow along on the sign right behind me. Always maintain a serious and respectful attitude while on a range. Whether the range is hot or cold, you will behave appropriately. The weapon you will use for this range is the M4 or the M27 select fire rifle. Weapons are to be used in single fire mode only. If you fire in burst or automatic mode, I will warn you once. If you caught so doing again, I will disqualify you and kick you from my range. The optic you'll be using for this is the RCO TA-31 optic. It will be used for the 500-yard line and the unknown distance course. It will only be attached when instructed to. All other targets will be engaged with iron sights. You will get practice time. You'll get 5 minutes of practice time. You'll utilize this time to your fullest. Become acquainted with your optic, your iron sights, and the different ranges. You will be shooting 200, 300, and 500-yard line targets. This is classroom number 2. If you get disconnected from TeamSpeak for any reason, the password to get back into here is going to be RR15, lowercase. I am locking the classroom now.
Your channel was edited.
If you are disconnected from the game for any reason during the qualification period, I'm sorry, but that means you're disqualified because this range keeps track of those who are logged into the server, and I don't keep track of it. So if you drop out halfway through shooting, sorry, you have to come back again another time. Are there any questions? Oh, make sure you got earplugs too. I can't remember if they actually turned it on here or not, but just in case. Shooters at this time, face your right. I just like to see who's paying attention. About face. Follow me out to the range. Shooters, alternate left and right when we get out here. Half on one side, half on the other side. Walk up to your platforms. Be careful walking up to your platforms that you don't fall off and hurt yourself. If you fall off and hurt yourself, I cannot heal you. I do not have Zeus permissions here. Shooters, listen up. When the range is hot, let me say this again. When I announce that the range is hot, and it's going to sound just like this. Are we ready on the right? Ready. Ready on the left? Ready. All ready on the fire line. Shooters may commence fire once your targets appear. Range is hot. When I say that word hot, you may commence fire. Do not shoot beforehand. I will give you one warning. If you keep doing it, I will throw you off my range. When I announce that the range is cold or cease fire, that means stop shooting. I am unable to count your number of rounds. If you screw up your reload script, just let me know. Note, server does track the rounds you shoot. All shooters must shoot no more than 65 rounds. If you fire more than 65 rounds during the qualification period, you will be disqualified. So don't shoot any more than you're supposed to. Keep track of what you're shooting. Everything's done in blocks of 5. So it's really simple to do. That dirt mound you're standing on, that is your firing position. The stone slab at the end of that dirt mound is your firing line. Do not cross that firing line. Make sure you check your position every time you move up to it. And I will tell you if you need to adjust. If you fail to adjust, I will disqualify you. Bear in mind, this is a qualification, not a competition. You are not here to compete against the other shooters. You are here to qualify for yourself for the year or try to get a higher score if you've already qualified. Please refrain from using the scoreboard while other shooters are shooting. Sometimes it causes a glitch where it causes hits not to register. Once you are done firing your rounds for the course of fire, please step back away from the firing line and lower your weapon. This is to let me know that everybody's done shooting and we can move on to the next course of fire, because there's only 2 courses of fire in here that's timed. Well, 3 if you include the unknown distance course. I ain't need you to step off the platform. Just step off the firing line. Are there any questions?
What do you say about firing when other people are firing?
Don't use the scoreboard while other people are firing.
Oh, okay.
You should be shooting while other people are firing. Otherwise, you're going to be, waiting for a while. Couple of range tips: pick your targets carefully. Do not engage the same target consistently due to the pop-up time. For example, firing 10 rounds in succession at one target may cause only 6 or 7 of those rounds to hit. So make sure you traverse left to right. Do not shoot on other people's range. This will create the illusion to the other shooter that he or she has hit the target, may cause him to improperly count the rounds and have a lower score. As many of you know, the right mouse button by default not only allows you to squint into your sights, but also hold your breath. Don't hold this for too long, because otherwise you'll get what's called weapon weave. You'll bob up and down. It is recommended that you only hold this for 4 to 6 seconds. Again, take your time. Patience is a major key to a good range. Timing of other shooters or the countdown of a timed course. Well, I have no idea what he's trying to say there in the script. Take your time. There's absolutely no reason to rush. Even in the timed events, you have 5 seconds per round. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. That's for one bullet. You have more than enough time. In the prone position, there is no restriction for resting your weapon. You can rest your weapon anytime by using the C key. That is the default key. Shooters, be advised, the 500-yard line targets are not 500 yards. They're in fact 457. Make sure you aim accordingly. On rare or blessed occasions, you may encounter a ricochet effect where you fire one round and it bounces off one target, striking a second target. This is a freak of ArmA, and a double impact will be recorded. I have only ever seen this once in the 7 months I have been a freaking range instructor, but it has happened. Are there any questions at this time? Shooters, you're about to start your 5 minutes of practice time. You may fire from the standing. You may fire from the kneeling. You may fire from the prone. You may shoot the 200-yard line, 300-yard line, 500-yard line targets. You may use your iron sights. You may use your optic. I don't care. This is your practice time. I suggest you do all of it. Just a reminder, you're actually only using your optic on the 500-yard line targets. So I would not waste your time shooting the 200-yard lines with your optic. Are there any questions before we begin? Silence is bliss. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question. So the 200, is that going to be standing, 300 kneeling, and then 500 prone?
Here's how the course of fire goes. This 200-yard line slow fire is 5 standing, 5 kneeling. The 200-yard line rapid fire is 10 kneeling. The 300-yard line slow fire is 10 kneeling. The 300-yard line rapid fire is 10 prone. And then the 500-yard line is 10 prone.
Okay.
So 300 or 200 is kneeling and standing, 300 is kneeling and prone, 500 is straight up prone. And then the unknown distance course, which is anywhere from 100 to 400, is all kneeling. That's the course of fire.
Okay.
Any other questions? Shooters, at this time, move up to your firing lines. Unsling your weapons. Load 1 magazine of 5 rounds. Are we ready on the left? We look like we're ready. Ready on the right. Ready. All ready on the firing line. Shooters, you may commence firing once your targets appear. Range is hot. Shooters, you have 2 minutes of firing time remaining. Shooters, cease fire, cease fire. At this time, all shooters remain on the firing line. Empty your entire magazine at this time. Oh, I forgot my earplugs. Cease fire, reload. Anybody need to go back and get a new loadout? Good. Shooters, this is going to begin your qualification period. This is your first course of fire. This is the 200-yard line slow fire phase. You will engage targets at a distance of 200 yards. You will fire 5 rounds standing, reload, and fire 5 rounds kneeling. I say this again. You're going to fire 5 rounds standing, reload, and fire 5 rounds kneeling. Be advised, all shooters should have removed their optics at this time as well. It looks like you have. This is a slow fire phase. There is no time limit. Are there any questions? Hang on, let me check to make sure I reset the scores.
Corporal, this is standing or kneeling?
5 rounds standing, reload, fire 5 rounds kneeling. Okay, good. The script worked. Yeah, so you're going to fire 5 rounds standing, reload, fire 5 rounds kneeling. This is a slow fire phase. There's no time limit. Are there any other questions? No questions. Shooters, at this time, move up to your firing lines. Assume a good standing position. Freeman, move up a little bit more. There you go. You want to make sure that your weapons like near that line, but ready on the left, ready on the right, ready, all ready on the firing line. Shooters, you may commence fire once your targets appear. Range is hot. If you're done shooting, back off the line. Good. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Range is cold. Shooters, this is your second course of fire. The 200-yard line rapid fire phase. You will engage targets at a distance of 200 yards. You will fire 5 rounds kneeling, reload, and fire 5 rounds kneeling. All 10 rounds will come from the kneeling position. I say this again. You will fire 5 rounds kneeling, reload, and fire 5 rounds kneeling. This is a rapid fire phase. You'll have a time limit of 50 seconds, 50 seconds. I will not start the clock until the first shot is fired. I will let you know when you have 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds of time remaining. Are there any questions? Shooters, this time move up to your firing lines. Assume a good kneeling position. Are we ready on the right? Ready. Ready on the left. Ready. All ready on firing line. Shooters, you may commence fire once your targets appear. Range is hot. Thirty seconds. $15. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Shooters, this is going to be your third course of fire, the 300-yard line slow fire phase. You'll engage targets at a distance of 300 yards. You'll fire 5 rounds kneeling, reload, and fire 5 rounds kneeling. All 10 rounds will come from the kneeling position. I say this again, you're going to fire 5 rounds kneeling, reload, and fire 5 rounds kneeling. This is a slow fire phase. There's no time limit. Is there any questions? None. Shooters at this time, move up to your fire lines. Assume a good kneeling position. We ready on the left? Ready. Ready on the right. Freeman, back up. Ready. Wait, who's that on the end? Murdoch, yeah, just a tiny. There you go, right there. Good. Ready on the right. All ready on the firing line. Shooters, you make commence fire once your targets appear. Range is hot.
Oh my god, I fucking suck.
Ceasefire, ceasefire. Shooters, this is your fourth course of fire, the 300-yard line rapid fire phase. You'll engage targets at a distance of 300 yards. You will fire 5 rounds prone, reload, and fire 5 rounds prone. All 10 rounds will come from the prone position. I say this again, you will fire 5 rounds prone, reload, and fire 5 rounds prone. You may rest your weapon during this course of fire. Again, the default key is the C, Charlie key. This is a rapid fire phase. You will have a time limit of 50 seconds, 50 seconds. I will not start the clock until the first shot is fired. I will let you know when you have 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds remaining. Are there any questions? Good. Shooters, this time move up to your fire lines. Assume a good prone position. Are we ready on the left? Ready. Ready on the right. Ready. All ready on the fire line. Shooters, you may commence fire once your targets appear. Range is hot. $20. 10. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Shooters, this is your 5th course of fire, the 500-yard line slow fire phase. At this time, put your optics on your rifles. You will engage targets at a distance of 500 yards. You will fire 5 rounds prone, reload, and fire 5 rounds prone. All 10 rounds come from the prone position. I said this again. You will fire 5 rounds prone, reload, and fire 5 rounds prone. This is a slow fire phase. There is no time limit. Are there any questions? Shooters, at this time. Oh,
Oh, yeah, to besto rifle.
you most certainly are.
Can you repeat the course of fire real quick? It's 5 prone, 5 prone.
5 prone, 5 prone.
Okay.
At this time, shooters, move up to your fire lines. Assume a good prone position. Are we ready on the right? Ready. Ready on the left. Ready. All ready to fire line. Shooters, you may commence fire once your targets appear. Range is hot. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Shooters, it's time. Sling your weapons. Carefully walk off your platforms. Come down to the instructor's tower. Behind my tower, there's a range master sign. Scroll wheel and teleport to the unknown distance course. When you get here, just find a freaking platform. The reason I have you come to my platform is because otherwise it teleports you to the far end of the freaking course and I can't see shit. Find a platform. There's ones on the other side over here too yet.
Question?
Shoot. Yo.
Do you want us to take our scopes off?
Nope.
Copy.
Listen up. Shooters, this is the unknown distance course. Please listen carefully. This round is scripted. Once it begins, I cannot stop it or pause it for any reason. Pay attention to this course as it takes less than 2 minutes to complete. The unknown distance course comprises of your 6th, 7th, and 8th courses of fire. In each phase, a random selection of 5 targets are going to appear at a random distance between 100 and 400 yards. You will engage these targets by firing 5 rounds and only firing 5 rounds from a kneeling position within the 25-second timer. Each target will remain down once they are struck. Once you have fired all 5 rounds, reload and wait for the next course to begin. Remember, once I start this course, I cannot stop it or pause it for any reasons. Once all 3 courses of fire are completed, ceasefire will be called and shooters will be instructed to convene at the instructor's tower. Couple of things. On rare blessed occasions, the targets do pop back up after you shoot them. Don't shoot that target again. Just move on to your next one. Start at the closest target first and work your way outwards. Once you fire all 5 rounds, like I said, reload and wait. Don't shoot any additional rounds. All firing will be done with your optic and from the kneeling position. When I tell you the range is hot, that means I am starting the script. On your HUD, it will let you know round 1 is starting, round 1 is end, or whatever one it is, okay? Shooters,
so-
at this time, move up to your firing lines, assume a good kneeling position.
So it's just 5 shots per round?
5 shots per round.
Okay.
You've shot 50, you're going to shoot the next 15 from here. Are we ready on the right? Ready. Ready on the left. Ready. All ready on the firing line. Shooters, you may commence fire once your targets appear. And if something happens during this course, there's nothing I can do. You just keep shooting. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Range is cold. Shooters, this time, stand, sling your weapons. Come down to this to tower. Hey, everybody qualified.
We're not incompetent buffoons.
I mean, there's
some,
a reason I'm a machine gunner.
some of you need some work, but you know,
Amen to that.
some of you need some work. Freeman, you didn't make it. 62.
Darn.
Exley 47, Oliver 53.
Like I said, there's a reason I'm a machine gunner.
You know, I got a meme. I gotta pull up and put everything out there for us, Oliver, because it shows, you know, like a target with 2 to the head, 1 to the chest for, you know, special operations. You know, marksmen have just, you know, 1 to the chest, and machine gunners got fucking 20 bullets on the target.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, 20 bullets around the target, you mean?
Well, you're
But
gonna
I'm
get a
putting
couple on
on
there.
target, about 100 around it.
They're
Yeah,
on the
Yeah, I
paper,
had one
that's all that
come back
matters.
up, and then I wasted a shot on that.
Dumbass.
And I also
I
missed
mean,
one more.
Hey, not gonna
So
lie,
I would have gotten
I
that
did
63,
miss.
but I
My,
fucked
my
up.
practice went about 100 times better than the actual course.
We did have 2 perfects. You got it. Oh, over here. Come over here. Come over to one of the scoreboards and scroll wheel. It shows you. You got 100. 65, 65. You and Murdoch got 65
Oh
perfect
crap! It
scores.
teleported me away instead.
Yeah, that's all right. Go to the. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just use the one right that you just got teleported to. But yeah, Latour, you got fucking 65 of 65. Murdoch 65 of 65. Freeman 62. Betulia 61. Oliver and Exley in the 40s. But everybody qualified. Actually,
Awesome.
that's
Sweet.
a freaking sharpshooter, isn't it?
What is?
Yeah, I think I
40
went up from last time. I didn't hit it last time.
47. But I don't fucking remember the scores. I read this. 49 is sharpshooter. No, you're still a marksman.
So
You still-
65 the
Pizza
highest you can get?
box.
65 is the highest you can get.
And I just
Cool, so I
qualified.
can do DMR. Sweet.
Yes, you
See,
can.
I
I'm
counted my
feeling that.
shots,
Mm-hmm.
and I only missed 3. I don't know why that's saying I missed 1.
Miss
I
one?
know I missed. I only missed 3. I should have 62 out of 65.
I'm telling you what the score.
Yeah,
This-
no, I'm looking at it too. I'm confused because I had a
Honest-
damn blessed occasion happen
Honest,
at
honest to God, it isn't going to matter. Because the difference between a 61 and a 62 is actually just that 1 point. It doesn't make
62
you
and
DMR.
63 is
62
a big
if-
one.
Right, exactly. If it was a 62 to 63, then we'd have it, you know, then it would be questionable. But I'm just going to tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you now. If you want a higher score, come back later.
I'm just. Does my 61 qualify me for anything at all other than just?
Expert.
I'll take that. I'm an
And
expert
it-
shooter, guys.
And if you want to be fancy, you can be like me and be a 4-time expert shooter.
Is there a
I'm
DMR
just a
qualification
marksman.
you have to do?
63, you have to shoot a 63 or higher to be DMR. Then you have to go through the course. By the way, I damn near failed the course.
Damn.
It is not an easy course. First thing you do is you do a static fire. It's called a known distance course. You shoot at targets at a known distance, right? Cool. But you're shooting them anywhere from 400 to 700 yards out.
Fuck yeah.
And then
Sounds like
there's the
fun.
unknown distance course where you have a time limit to find the target, identify its range, and then shoot it. You get 2 shots to do that. And you have to do that for 5 rounds. You have to do 5. And like, I'm not talking like this narrow lane. I'm talking like 4 lanes wide on each side area. You're up on a hill and you have a big area to look out over that you have to find the target. And sometimes it's sitting in a window of a freaking building.
Yeah, I've done it once. I can do it again.
Identify the range and then shoot it. And then the third one is they move you down off the hill onto the flat ground and they put a target 700 yards out to it. And they say you have